All right, it's 844 Rock God, 844 Rock God. We're doing the quarantine shows. I'm in Manhattan. Gail is in Brooklyn, but we're here for you, right? That's the beauty of this. We are persevering.
Yes, it feels like the weirdest world ever, but at the same time, it's so cool that we are still able to do this show. I mean, it's wild to me that we're still able to do this show.
Vito told me that Bob Fonseca contacted us about what we're using here, and I go, well, tell him. But then Vito was trying to tell me that it's just tied in with the servers that we have.
Right.
There's this room full of servers at SiriusXM. I don't even understand what servers do. I know Hillary Clinton wiped hers clean, but that's as far as I know how it all works.
I know
Lock
that
her up.
BNOC is the brain, is all I know.
BNOC. I had never heard that word before. And
Nope.
then you get to Sirius, and then Chris uses it every day as if it makes sense.
When I started the show, he would be using that term as though I knew what he was talking about. He's like, this is a BNOC
Right.
situation. We're going to get BNOC on it. I'm like, the what now?
I know. He's using it like it's 911. Like we all have an understanding of it.
But he's also kind of a hacker, He's kind of the zero cool of our show.
Because he told us once that he built a computer when he was a kid, and then we found out that he had a computer kit. Hey Vita, would you do me a favor and put Chris on? Chris is super quarantined because he was next to a person with the coronavirus and licked that guy's forehead.
Wishy.
Why? Why would you lick his sweaty forehead?
In hindsight, that was a bad idea. I don't know.
Somebody just wrote to me that you Skyped in on your podcast last night.
No, I didn't. No, did not. No podcasting as of yet.
Oh, somebody said that you were going to be Skyped into it. So that didn't happen?
That didn't happen. No, I last night I just sat and had a couple of drinks in my apartment and stared at the wall and passed out.
What were you drinking?
Well, I mean, you need to ration, Ron. So I didn't want to break in. I was drinking some vodka on the rocks.
Doesn't
I
sound
didn't
like
want to
it.
get whiskey.
All right, so you're saving the whiskey. Look at the restraint Chris Stanley is showing. I'm
good.
very, very proud of him.
He's different. This has changed him.
I'm a prepper, Ron. I'm a prepper now.
In your own way. You're a preppy is what you really are. Now, this computer that you built, Chris, it
Yes.
was a computer kit.
No, Ron, it was a desktop computer. I bought the parts on various wholesale websites on the internet, and then I was able to build. There were some instructions. I did have a screwdriver, and then I was able to build it. Yes.
How long did it take you?
I think 2 days to build it.
It seems really impressive to me when I see
Yeah,
that
me
you've
too.
never fixed one thing around the office.
No, I mean I'm usually calling BNOC for that.
Yeah, I hate that word, so I really do. But I mean, this guy's like, well, I built my own computer. Yeah, well, your chair squeaks. You know what I mean? I can't be overly impressed.
Nothing we can do about it, Ron.
Now, have you guys been reading all those things that are going around about people that have done stuff over a quarantine, like Shakespeare supposedly wrote one of his greatest plays, and then I think it was Isaac Newton came up with like 3 things over a quarantine. I don't know.
Yeah,
Do you believe this stuff?
I think they're just trying to make us feel bad. You know what I mean? Like, look, we're already quarantining. We're helping out the best we can. Now you're going to put pressure on us to create great art? We're under a lot of stress.
You know, and I haven't told either one of you guys this, correct? But I started my novel last night.
Oh, wow. You're really doing it.
Wow. No. Well, I had read about Isaac Newton because no one's writing like, hey, over the quarantine, Isaac Newton gained 35 pounds. You know what I mean? I would feel better about that. I'm like, I'm gaining weight, but at least I'm not gaining Isaac Newton weight, But they're making me feel worse about it.
What's your
So the novel,
about?
What's it about? Interesting that you would say that, Gail. What isn't it about? You know what I'm saying? It's about heaven, hell, death, life, peace and war. I think if I had to describe it in any way, it's a modern classic bestseller.
Wow. Sounds
It's
fantastic.
something. The only thing that I'm thinking, and I honestly, I just started it, but I was thinking to myself, and this was an exciting thought. I wonder how many languages this is going to be in. You know what I came up with? 17.
That's
17 languages. For a first novel, it's fucking great.
Yeah, that's massive. I feel like let me be the first to congratulate you on it.
You know what I'm even excited about? And Chris, this kind of makes your computer thing look like shit. Admit that.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it does. Yeah, the computer is not a novel.
Second word of the novel. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Twas.
Oh.
I use that
that's really
phrase. Yeah, twas.
That's
I got it I think I got it from Curb the other night. I think I don't know where. I just heard twas recently, and then I just had this great thought. I'll steal that word. You know what I mean? And I did that by my second word. I'm using a word that you don't normally see.
Yeah, I think that if I open a novel, I see "twas" as the second word. I'm actually going, is this going to be above my head? I mean, this sounds pretty clever.
Oh, it's above your head, and I'll tell you why. It's the kind of novel you want to read 2-3 times. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've only read it once because, I'm just writing fast and furious. What am I? Maybe a vessel. You know what I mean? Maybe it's not coming from me at all, but coming from and whatever you want to call God. You know what I mean?
Right, it's moving through you.
It's moving through you, and it's pretty much like the power of the universe. It's a great work of art. It's a fucking great work of art, and I can just admire it more than even take credit for it.
This is so great. I mean, you've got this novel. All I did is make some muffins. I mean, I feel terrible.
You're
about
baking a
myself.
lot. I'm getting a little nervous about this, Gail. You were doing so good. Now it's cookies. It's muffins. You got to get
Don't
your
body
Isaac
shame
Newton
me.
on, dude. Well, you don't want to come out of this thing and have everybody go, oh. Oh.
I am still working out though. I'm doing Skype workouts, which has been fun.
You're part of the movement that Jenny Hutt is setting up right now.
I would love to do this with Jenny Hutt, and I also feel like we all laughed at that Peloton commercial. It's looking pretty sweet right now. Kind of wish I had a Peloton bike.
Somebody had a Peloton delivered to my building, and everybody else was very jealous.
That's a good idea.
She said, "Don't be jealous." She goes, "My husband makes my life a living hell. He weighs me every single morning." And then she said this: "He's the one who puts the birth control into my mouth. He doesn't trust me."
Oh my
And I go,
God.
"That's kind of sexy." You know what I mean? That's kind of sexy, like the
Yes.
movie Secretary. As a writer, this time has been interesting in a way that I can't even explain. You know what I mean? I guess now I understand birth itself. Birth.
Yeah.
I'm giving birth to a novel.
Yeah, I mean, that's what happens when you have something that precious to you, and then you put it out in the world. You're going to feel vulnerable too.
I'm also deciding, and I did this very early on. I'm not going to. People are writing to me that Chris has a big echo. I'm not hearing it. Can you, Gail?
I don't hear it. No.
Yeah. Vito's kind of asleep at the switch today. I'm not going to bust his
I don't know
balls.
where he is.
But, I mean, yesterday he was on the ball, and today he's just, it seems like he's a wreck.
Everything's fine. Everything's fine here. I'm just, there's just a lot going on.
I know, buddy. I know. And if Chris hadn't faked his Corona trying to fucking turn it into the vodka hour, it'd be easier on you.
I can't wait for 2 weeks from now when any test he takes come back negative and he just looks like a fucking dick.
I mean, by
All
the
right,
way, that's not how this works.
I hope he doesn't.
We're gonna be happy when his tests come back negative. And by the way, you can't get a test in this country. You'd have to fly to the UK.
Yes.
Now you're not hearing an echo with Chris.
No, I'm not. I heard a slight one at the beginning, but then I I changed his gains and I did some stuff, and it seemed like it had went away for the most part.
For the most part.
I'm gonna bring
Where's
Chris.
that?
I'm gonna bring Chris back up and test him. Hey, Chris.
Hey, how's it going, guys? You hear any echo?
I never did. I'm gonna be totally honest. You hear it, Vito?
There's a slight echo.
I hear a small one now. But it might just be because Chris is so damn loud. I mean, it's more like it sounds like you're yelling into the phone rather than...
What if I talk like this? Is this better for everyone?
Well, that's too soft, and you know it.
Well, there's no echo.
Can I also say this, Chris? Stop saying things twice, because a lot of people think that it's an echo, but it's just this weird vocal tick that you have.
I'm going to get the papers.
Knock on it.
Okay. He has also talked over me every time.
You know, it's really hard for me not to order lunch now. Maybe I'm not Isaac Newton. Hey, guys, you want to listen to this? You hear that? Mm-hmm. That's the novel I started.
Oh.
Wow. That
sounds heavy.
Good ways along.
Also, I've decided not to turn this into a film. Why? I don't want it to take away from the novel. You know what I mean? You want to experience this? Experience it the way I wrote it. And I'm going to tell you this. I'm writing in longhand like Quentin Tarantino.
Whoa. Really?
Coked up and longhand, the Tarantino way.
Ron, I think you should reconsider optioning this for a film. I mean, if it's going to be this much of a big seller, you can make some good money off of it.
You know what? I'm not doing this for money, Chris. I'm doing this for art. You know, that's the difference between my generation and your generation. You're a fucking sellout, okay?
Yeah.
You take something that's precious and you put just a fucking tag on it. Who wants to buy it? Guess who can buy this? Nobody. Nobody.
That's noble.
There's some things that should never be sold. Pancakes, for instance. You know what I mean?
They're
How
so
can you
easy
put
to
a
make.
price on pancakes?
I guess that's true. I didn't think of it like that.
Yeah. I'm going to be a 345-pound author, and I'm excited about that.
I'm right there with you.
George R.R.
so-
Martin is going to be so jealous.
Who? Who's going to be jealous?
Isn't that the Lord of the Rings guy? Not the Lord of the Rings, the Game of
his
Thrones
name?
guy.
What's his name?
Gail, it's George R.R. Martin is the author
That's
of
what I
Game of Thrones.
All right, let me write that down. I got to learn who some of the other people are. George R.R. Martin. I'm looking it up now. It looks like R.R. stands for railroad. That's fucking weird. I think it would be cooler just to call yourself Railroad Martin. I'd read that fucking book right now. By the way, I am reading a book. I think Chris got an early copy of this like oral history of The Office.
I got it.
And
Ron.
I got that for you.
Ron, I got that for you. That was mine.
That was
Doesn't
homemade.
matter. All right. First of all, both of you guys, it's basically like you're assisting Railroad Martin. It shouldn't matter who gets the credit for it, you know, just the fact that the work's getting out there.
Okay.
And but this, it starts with the English office and then goes into the American office, and they talk to everybody, people that worked on the show, the sets, how close it came to being canceled, the whole the whole 9 yards. Now, maybe it's just because I'm quarantined, but I'm loving this fucking oral history.
I also got a copy of the book, and I'm almost done with it. I couldn't put it down.
Well, what do? Just carry it with you wherever you go?
I literally I have it here.
Is that why we're getting echoes? Because you're sitting there reading about season 8?
I'm on season 8 reading about how Steve Carell left. I don't have time to look at echoes.
Can I? You don't look at echoes, you listen to them. But I didn't know that everybody hated James Spader. I thought that was a great fucking character, Robert California.
Yeah, I had no idea about James Spader. I had no idea that Steve Carell, the network, is the reason he left the show, that he wanted to stay. Like, it's the stuff in that book is fucking great.
You find out just how stupid people at the top are. You know what I mean? That they never think, oh, we have a talented showrunner. Let's let him run the show. They're going, shouldn't we move the desk over there? Maybe Carell should shave his head. Wouldn't that be funny? Bald-headed guy.
And how
that
they
is the weird thing about the money is that they always want the thing, like they say that they want the best creative thing, and then their initial thing is always to destroy it. They're like, oh no, I want your genius to control.
It's very fascinating because, and this is why I'm not going to sell my novel. You know what I mean? My novel is not for sale. You want this novel? Go over to a Barnes and Noble, stand in line, probably a really fucking long line, buy it, and then come up to me. I'll sign it, but guess what? I'm not personalizing it because I don't know exactly how to spell Christina and Daniel and Epiphany. You know what I mean? I don't want that. I just want to scribble my name across it.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure with that.
When people, like, when I'm doing the meet and greets with the creeps, they go, can you personalize this? I go, absolutely not. I go, you write your own name at the top of it. Normally, when I just sign something like that for people, I just write, you're the best around, and nothing is ever going to keep you down. Ron Bennington. You're the best around. Listen to this, guys.
Damn. It's like you've got a lot done in just a couple days.
Couple days, last night.
What?
And probably only, probably only 15 minutes. Guess how many pages I've written already?
How many?
Looks like 6 or 7 in a small notebook. And I leave a space in between all the sentences. You know why?
Okay.
What if I want to add another sentence in between?
Good point. It seems like you should be doing this on a computer then, because you could edit whenever you want.
Let me ask you this: did Shakespeare write on a computer, Gail?
I think he would have.
Did Mark Twain write on a computer?
I know, but again, I think they would have.
Did Steve Jobs ever write on a computer?
Yes, he did.
Yeah, and how's his fucking book? It's shit.
Did anyone find out if Bill Gates really did pose sexy for a teen magazine?
No.
I'm dying to know if that was real.
That was a fever dream that you had.
I want to know.
I think one of the hardest things about my novel, now that you bring it up, is probably like what to title it. I like a title with a really long, this just goes on for like a sentence and a half, and then people just give it, like Cuckoo's Nest. You know what I mean? It's One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. No one ever says that. They just say Cuckoo's Nest. Let them make a slang for it.
Yeah, I think you do want that. It's like the same with like a band name that gets shortened or something. I think it's got a cool vibe to it.
Also, I'm going to just slap on the front of this novel in a sticker. The N-word is not uttered once in this entire novel. You know what I mean? Unlike Mark Twain, I don't need to lean on that.
I think that's cool, but do you think it's weird to bring it up?
Maybe. Maybe it is. I don't know whether I should do a reading now or somebody would steal it. I'm not going to do it now. Maybe I'll do it during the show today, though.
I would like to
just
hear
give
it
you
at
guys a
some
little
point.
taste. Give you a little taste. Well, you've been begging enough. Why not?
Yeah.
All right. Vito just texted me that BL from Florida. She was down on Clearwater Beach. Part of that whole Florida man, Corona party that they threw down there. They said people were throwing up. That's how sick they were, but they were still on the beach.
Oh,
She's on the line for us right now. From Clearwater, Florida, the queen of Clearwater. It's Brenda Lee.
Hello.
Hi, BL.
Listen to BL. She's laughing through a pandemic. That's strength.
Hey, I got to hold on a second. But the beaches here. Chapter 2, Revenge of the Echo Pussy. BS.
First of all, she just called herself Echo Pussy. That sounds like a big cave pussy that you could yell into and then hear.
Yes.
It's seconds later coming back to you.
Absolutely.
BL, are you still doing your radio show? You haven't quit yet?
No, it's been a month. Give me another week.
Tell everybody how they can hear you.
It's on each day, 10 to noon, called newstalkflorida.com. You can stream. Well, we don't want you to stream. You know what I'm saying?
Wait.
Girls can do
Wait a
that
minute.
stuff.
The name of your show is News Talk?
No, it's called the BL Show, Ron. You always told me, you taught me something. You said, always put your name in the title of the show.
You taught her that?
I guess I did. More wisdom from Bennington.
It's true.
BL, why are you guys ignoring the corona down there?
We're not ignoring the corona. It's the New Yorkers, which I welcome all of them, like a Walmart greeter. They're swimming with the sharks. Tampa Bay, #1 infested place. I tried to tell you and Stanley that 5 years ago. We're shark infested here.
First of all, the problem right now is not shark infestation. Is that it? I gotta go into my book. Yeah, infestation. It's coronavirus.
I know. I'm devastated, but people are still oiling up like it's a big orgy from the 60s or something, like the Woodstocks are playing.
There wasn't one single orgy at Woodstock. Not one. There's that. You just drew a line to a rock concert, not an orgy concert.
It doesn't. Yes, it was. Lots of people got pregnant that night of that, Benny. Don't you see them all over the place? Now let's get back on point.
Yeah, let's get on point.
No.
Why is Florida not closing their beaches? Why are you guys all rubbing up against each other?
Oh, dude, I'm not kidding you. I just drove past it today again. I'm thinking, well, all the big heavy hitters have put us on national news as usual. And I'm thinking, there's no way there's this many people. They're still cruising around as of like an hour ago. Just walking around, just rubbing elbows.
Did you see the pictures, Gail? Did you notice the pictures?
I did see the pictures of the beaches totally full. The video of going up and down the beach, and you think it's going to end at some point, and it's just as far as the eye can see, full beach.
The eyes go, oh, there's BL, and then I, looked at it closer, and it was a leather handbag that somebody had thrown down on the beach.
Ron, is that nice? All I can picture. No, all I can picture is little Juju in a little red whole-piece suit with her little sand pail. And, if she doesn't want to play with the other kids, she can go home or go back to her grandpa's beach house,
What do you know?
What do you picture?
Just don't even listen to her, Gail. BL, do you know that I was in a conversation about you with Carl Reiner?
What?
Because Carl Reiner directed you in a movie. Do you remember that? Summer Rental?
Oh, yeah, Summer Rental.
Yeah, so I said, I go, we were going over his movies, and I go, a friend of mine was in your movie Summer Rental, and I described you, and I go, why would you even put her in the movie? And he told me that you had blew one of the union guys, so they just let you go in the background.
No, I didn't blow him. I took it backdoor style, if you know what I'm saying.
Yes, I know exactly what you're saying. You took it in the ass. Yeah, I got that. Backdoor style. But do you remember that was Carl that directed that movie?
Absolutely. I saw him all the time eating his chicken filet taco thing. Yeah, I saw him all the time on this. They said, don't approach Carl. He's a big producer. Yeah. I'm like, I don't want to talk to him. I have respect for him because, I mean, he's, Carl damn Reiner, right?
No.
Now, Benny, up close and personal and unmasked with him. Awesome.
Yeah, I actually did bring up BL, and you know what he said to me? Who? Who?
Hey, listen, my scene is 4 seconds long, okay? I still get 9 cents every 3 months from that movie that runs on a loop.
Do you really?
Yes.
Because I didn't think the extras got money.
Well, it's just kind of a fantasy the same way your book is.
Motherfucker. Do you believe this, Gail?
No, I cannot.
This is why it's so hard to create art, because there's always the trolls out there that will take you down.
Don't listen to them, Keep writing. Keep believing in yourself. Don't let them take you down.
So you're saying don't stop believing.
Yeah, that's
Hold
exactly
on to the
what
bitter
I'm saying.
end. Okay.
No one's ever
that's
said
good
that
advice.
before.
Yeah. BL, you know another one of the fantasies is every one of your 5 marriages.
Oh, no, it's 6.
6.
Oh, God.
I'm going for the record. Hey, Ron. Hey, Gail.
Yeah. Hey, BL.
Yes.
You guys still there? Okay, good. I just ordered. There's a new thing that got invented. I'm not kidding. I just ordered it before I called you. It's called. There's a headboard banger that's been invented so your headboard doesn't go through your drywall. I've been repairing drywall like Carter's got pills around here.
What is she talking about?
She's talking about
a headboard banger, dude. You screw it into the wall once, and it adheres the headboard just like a little doorstop. Bam.
I got it. Got it.
She's saying she gets hate fucked so much that she's destroying drywall.
Hey, I got horny and banged a butterball turkey once. Does it make me a bad person?
This is, by the way, she
only
has a
if you
radio
served
show.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what, Benny? Ron, you're my mentor.
You could say Benny. What the fuck would I care what stupid name that you call me? It doesn't matter to me at all, BL. Yeah.
Hey, let me tell you this. When Brady and Giselle land in Tampa Bay tomorrow night after 4 p.m., I'm going to just point Brady to the Mons Venus. I'm going to take Giselle to the beach.
I think she would probably enjoy it more. I can't believe the Mons Venus is still open.
Oh my God, it's slammed.
By the way, in these Corona times, Gail, guys are still down there getting lap dances.
I really hope that's not true.
Florida. It is
6
true.
feet away.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what? You know what's really sad for these girls? I mean, they're in pre-med, these ladies, They're not scared to tell you about it either. But when they're up on their knees, pardon me, Gail, in front of your father, but I won't be graphic. But when they're on their 2 knees, their little feet could use a little wipe. One of these Lysol wipes. They're up there just humping these dudes. I'm in
First of all,
I'm in pre-med. You like that pre-med on you?
Oh, God, she's so gross.
Insanity.
Why are you guys looking at me like I got 3 heads?
You can't see us, BL.
Yeah, you can't see us.
Do you see us in your mind?
We know you don't have 3 heads, or you wouldn't be using that one.
I'm sexy and I know it. Come on, everybody's got to have a good time. I'm sad by the Times Square picture, just gray and gloomy. Great places in our society. We got to cheer each other up.
BL, are you quarantining? Are you self-distancing? Yeah.
No, Gail, there's nothing wrong with me. I could babysit Juju for 4 days and the baby wouldn't come home with a cold.
That is the most frightening thing I've ever heard
really
in my
scary.
life. It's like fucking Hansel and Gretel. You know what I mean? That the witch has the fucking child.
So you're not doing any
me breathing? Huh?
You're not doing any social distancing. You're not staying home. You're just out and about.
No. Gail, we're
Look
home.
who you're talking to.
We are home.
Gail, you've got somebody who is confused pre-med with premenopause, and you're going to ask her if she's doing any of the fucking rules. She's insane. She's nuts. I can't believe she's still alive anyway, up to this point.
Well, Ron, you taught me everything I know. It's your fault.
I didn't teach you a fucking thing, BL. Not a goddamn thing. I take zero credit for the way your life has turned out.
You're her
You
sensei.
should credit you because you're my main mentor, Benny. You're the one you picked me out of a room of 30 people. Said, lady, come on up forward. Who are you? Who are you?
It's
Hooty hoot, hoot hoot. I really want to go.
I'm going to say this for the last time, Gail. I was trying to talk to Lynn Austin, and this fucking sock puppet came running in front of Lynn and started talking crazy on the radio.
Ron?
And she was like this. She was carrying Lynn's purse and like, do you need a breath mint? Let me know if you want some green juice later. You know what I mean? She was like the assistant to Lynn. Mm-hmm. Lynn taught you everything. Lynn and Drosty.
Ed
Those
Drost?
were your mentors. Yeah.
The Hooters Chicken Wing King. Yeah.
Yeah, he's the king
But
of
you know
chicken
what?
wings.
I look back and I think it's been a hell of a ride. I'm 56. If I died today, I've done it all, Ron. Just because
Hold
of you,
on.
I rode your coattails for how many years?
Let me ask you something. You're only 50 fucking 6. I'm amazed.
Yeah, why?
Because I thought you were going to end up on the Today Show getting the fucking 100-year shout out.
I tell you
birthday.
what, Ron, you should have a national show. Jesus, are you funny?
Every day, Gail, I talk to Fez Watley, and at one point he'll go like this to me. Every conversation. You know who I hate? BL. And he'll talk about his problems. He goes, BL put me in this position.
No, not true. Hey, I got an idea for Fez. Let's throw him an A or a B. A, get the corona, or B, have dinner with BL. No.
How many messages has he not returned to you? Is it in the thousands?
22,
Corona's killing me.
25. I've tried. Especially amongst these hard times we're having, I thought, well, I'll pick him up and take him to see Sal Volcano that was in town. And I thought, I'll take him to Sal. No response.
So you've reached out to him in recent time since this pandemic broke out.
Well, Sal was in Tampa about a week, or he was here about a week ago. And I thought, well, I haven't seen any comedians lately. I'll take Fez. No, blew me off. Then pictures show up with him with other comedians around town.
Yes, he runs out like a groupie every single week. I don't know why you don't see him there.
Seems like you could just bump into him.
Oh, your buddy's been here. Your creep kid people, all of them. Bobby Kelly, Florentine, they all come to town, and Fez gets to go. I don't go because I don't want to be a stalker.
Ugh. Where's this going? Why are we having this conversation? I actually now feel like the corona has come into my body.
I know it's you sound sicker since she's been on the phone.
Yeah, since it's almost like my kryptonite showed up. You know what I mean? It just started to suck the energy out of me. Well, BL, I want you to be careful with this corona because you're definitely of the age. You know, you're in the kill zone right now.
So are you. We're near 60.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
If I could raw dog it through the AIDS era, I think I could fucking live through anything. You know?
You can rock it. You've been through everything and bounced right back. I am so proud of you, and I'm proud to call you my friend and my mentor. I'm doing.
Hurts
You
so
told
much.
me
If,
we were going to do
Gail,
something.
if this physically hurts, it physically hurts me.
I'm
BL,
worried about
I got to go to break. Plug your show again, okay? If people want to hear this kind of crazy rambling.
Oh, my show's on from 10 to noon. NewsTalkFlorida.com. I love you guys.
You're not on any radio stations?
Yeah, 8:20 a.m. Tampa Bay.
Okay.
Love
All right, BL.
Bye, BL.
I gotta go to
Stay
break.
safe.
All right,
Okay,
bye.
bye.
There's no break. There's no break designed.
No, it
I
was
just couldn't
time
take
for it
another
to go.
moment of it.
What was she even
She might-
talking? I honestly,
What did she ever talk about? She's insane.
I was actually thinking she might, and this sounds intense, but I think she might sound crazier than she did even a couple years ago. Like I think she's getting exponentially weirder.
He's been here when he showed me the way. Picked me out of a room of 30 people. No, never happened. Sal Volcano was down here.
Yeah, anytime that she just, or like she just breaks into the who, like what was going on? I don't know why.
I have no idea what she ever means. Ever.
No.
Ever. It's insanity. And to think that Vito went into her room to see her tits.
I
I know.
didn't. That is
That's
a
what
rumor.
she said, though.
Gail, that's a rumor that BL spread. I did not even work for the show at the time.
Yeah, that makes it extra inappropriate that you were in there.
I just got a text from Fez and it said, you know who I hate? BL. He will not take a call for her.
No, it sounds
Won't
like
answer a text. Nothing.
What was their last correspondence? What was the break for the two of them?
God, they had like 50 breaks. And then finally he said enough is enough.
Yeah.
I mean, I broke with her 1,000 times, but she just keeps
yeah.
coming back. B, I'm never going to you again. I just want to say goodbye.
She really is like, what about Bob? Like when he just opens the door, he's never
Yeah.
gone. That's her.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah, it's 10 times scarier than What About Bob. And I know she's got the corona. I know she's just fucking, you know what I mean? Just tons of corona jizz went into her.
She's spreading it wildly.
Yeah. Beanie, you do something I gotta say to you. What? Thank you for my life. I could watch Juju for 4 fucking days.
You're not
Could you
going
imagine
to. No,
dressed up like a little Hooters girl?
that's a nightmare. What she described as my nightmare.
I know. Who would even say that to a mom? I could be alone with your daughter for 4 days.
Particularly after she just said that she imagines her in a little red bikini on the beach. I was like,
I know.
What are you picturing?
I mean, it made it a little nicer that she said bucket and shovel, but
Yeah, I mean, sure. She's not going on that Corona beach.
all right. VL just wrote to me. She said, and you got to know this, Vito. She goes, thank you. I had my phone turned all the way up. Sounded like you and Gail whisper. Sorry if I talked over you. Great time. And then she put a heart and a kissy face. We can't get this phone thing worked out, Vito.
I mean,
No, it's so weird.
Yeah, it's weird. It's when Chris was on hold, he told me it sounded better and that issue had went away. So
He's the liar.
But we can't have a real fucking guest on the show if they can't hear us and feel weird the whole time, you know? They're never going to be good. I mean, BL, I said, let's put somebody on who's not good. That'll be perfect.
That's a perfect test. Oh,
I'm thinking about putting on the thing. I'd like to thank everybody but on the planet Earth except for BL. Might be a nice little dig when this novel goes to number 1. We really should take a break here, kids.
All right.
I'm gonna go see what's in the fridge.
All right, that sounds good. Bennington will be right back. Bennington is back, and we are continuing to practice social distance radio. I am broadcasting live from my home in Brooklyn. Ron is in Manhattan at his home, and Vito is holding it down at our studios.
Great job today, Vito. But we are kind of working on some little technical problems. We're trying to stay out here for you guys, and these are going to be little tweaks that we make as we roll along. But want to stay on the air, want to keep doing this show, love being connected to you guys. It makes us feel less quarantined to be able to do this show every day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm afraid of? The weekend. The weekend has me weirded out.
I know. I think that is going to feel really strange because we're just going to turn off our mics and then go, now what, for a couple days. It's going to feel strange.
My friend Mike in Chicago running Molly's, and they have it set up as a complete takeout place today. And that's happening at places all over the country. All these restaurants are just becoming takeout restaurants or delivery places. And I guess that goes on as long as we possibly can. But, it's a very difficult thing, but I kind of feel like most people are on board now. You know what I mean? If you look at New York City, the streets are pretty empty, and this is the busiest city in the world. And, people are trying to keep this thing down. So we're all doing the best we can. If you ever need anything, give us a call, 844 Rock God, 844 Rock God. But I think we can keep our spirits up with this.
Yeah, I think so too. I think like one of the weirdest things about this as just a strange moment in which the thing that you're doing to do your part is to not be around, which is so different. Like, after 9/11, maybe you felt like, oh, we should rally together, or can I volunteer, or can I donate? So there's a very weird thing of staying away is the best thing that you can do. And I think that the other thing that's so weird is that if we step back in a couple months from now, all these actions that we took worked. We also have people who might say, like, well, look, it wasn't that big of a deal. Like, our best case scenario is that in a couple months we step back and think that it wasn't a big deal because everything we did worked so well.
Well, avoiding bigger problems never gets you credit. You know what I mean? Like the CIA never gets credit for anything other than 9/11. But have they stopped terrorist attacks before and after? Yes. But no one ever wakes up and goes, I'm so happy there wasn't a terrorist attack today. You know what I mean?
Right,
or
exactly.
I'm so happy they caught that school shooter before he got to the school. That's not news. It's just something that human beings don't take in naturally. It doesn't work that way for us.
It's actually happened a couple of times where there have been, either attempts or plans for a terrorist attack of some nature, small or large. And then I don't feel like it's covered very much. They're like, oh, they got this guy. He was going to do something messed up.
Yeah, because the story didn't happen, And I mean, I feel like I get into this in my novel, in the later chapters, the ones I haven't written yet. But I'm just coming up with that now during this conversation.
I'm
I think
dying
we're
to
probably
read.
going to.
I'm dying to read what you've written already.
Maybe because I'm going to be using a lot of language you wouldn't understand. It might be better for you to just pick up the audiobook.
Okay. I mean, I feel like I have the time to invest right now. But sure, I guess I could do an audiobook. Then I could do dishes while I listen.
Isn't that fun? Or you're driving or you're, you're on your Peloton and it's just so exciting. But I'll say this, it looks like I already got the celebrity who was going to read the book.
Oh, who's that?
Black Earl Douglas. He said he would do it and incredibly cheaply. And he has a beautiful speaking voice.
He does. It's very rich.
That's what I was looking for. I want it to be as rich as this novel,
It's rich, but it's also gentle,
Do you want to know something that I'm struggling with a little bit? And by the way, if you're just tuning in now, I'm using this time to write a best-selling novel, not a book of my own experiences. Who fucking wants to read that? Oh, when I was a kid in Twin Oaks, we used to ride bikes. I fucking hate that. You know what I mean? I want this to be just a novel that leaps off the page, Literally leaps off the page.
Literally?
Yes, in a very virtual reality, because I'm going to have the audiobook is going to be on virtual reality. Shit's going to be coming at you the whole fucking time.
Is there a genre you would say this book is?
That's interesting. Can you be noir and be a book? You know what I mean? Or is that just pulp?
No, I think you could be like a gritty detective noir.
That's what this is. It's a gritty detective noir, but with heart. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. With heart and soul. Heart and soul.
Yeah, you need both.
Vito, I finally found my live read. I didn't see it it went straight to spam. Everything from you I have going to spam.
Why?
If you want to send me something, send it to Chris and then have Chris forward it to me. I just know a lot of your stuff is about wrestling and everything like that, and I just don't feel like reading it.
I just want you to be up to date with what's going on in the Federation.
I'll be up to date when they bring back King Kong Bundy. And I think he was named after Ted Bundy, which is, that's edgy.
That's pretty cool.
Saving $14 right now by having my own home coffee and cutting Gail out of it. $14 a day.
I do miss you treating me for coffee every day. I also don't have a means to make lattes, so just regular coffee for me.
Just a cup of Joe. Mm-hmm. I heard you take a big swig right then.
Yeah. Well, you just reminded me that it was here.
Maybe we could change the name of the show to Coffee Clutch.
I like that.
Now, here's the weird thing that I'm getting, and I don't want to keep working the technical things. Some people heard an echo with BL, and some people didn't. And it seems like there's a difference between the app and the cars, and,
I
don't know what.
I think the only thing I could think is that are either of your headphones near the mics or turned on loud? Like,
oh no, I have my headphones in the other room. I thought that would be the best way to do it.
Well, I think we're both wearing earbuds, so I don't think.
No, I'm wearing headphones, but they're sucked right up to my ears. I mean, I literally could go underwater and not get my ears wet. Should I switch to earbuds?
I think that might make things better because there would be less of a bleed. There would be less of a chance of bleed over.
Do you know that Chris gave me the wrong adapter? Remember, he made a big deal about the adapter.
Yeah.
And then he goes like this. Do I know what?
That he gave me an adapter and I didn't even need it. I could just stick my headphones directly into my system.
Well, here's the way that he passed along. He goes, Ron should have an adapter. I put it in his jacket pocket. I'm like, now you're really treating me like Pop. You know what I mean? And then he's going like this. Is Ron getting enough vegetables? Because it seems like every meal is meat and potatoes.
He should have just pinned it to your jacket.
Yeah. That's when you know you're fucked, when people start to talk about you while you're sitting there. That's when you're like, okay, this whole thing is just about over now.
Also, if they're complimenting you for doing things that everyone else is doing, like he's doing good walking. Look at how good. He walks so well.
He went from his chair to the bathroom.
Yeah, exactly.
It is the Bennington Show, just kicking it out, quarantine style. I keep getting rumors sent to me. I thought Cuomo said today that they won't lock the city down, and then de Blasio said that they may lock the city down. He called it some kind of shelter, and I'm like, I'm not going to a fucking shelter. And then he's like, no, just use your house like it's a shelter.
Yeah, I just got the alert a little bit ago that he said New Yorkers should be prepared for a shelter-in-place order, which means everyone is to stay in their homes.
I thought that's what we were already doing.
Well, I guess, there's still people who are allowed. I mean, Vito's at work. Some people are still going into their jobs and using precaution. There's also, bars and restaurants are open, but only for takeout. I think this would be a full lockdown.
You gotta know this about New York City. A lot of people don't cook.
Yes.
Excuse me.
Some of them don't even have kitchen. I mean, I've been showed many apartments while I was moving in this city where they're like, there's not a kitchen. And they're like, yeah, but you're a New Yorker. And I'm like, no, I cook food. I do cook food.
That's also should be against the law. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
it
that's
seems
not
like
an apartment.
Yeah. I had a friend who was building a house, and it was just him and his wife, and they were building it in this beautiful neighborhood, and they had designed it so there was no kitchen. None. They ate out every meal, and this was when I lived in Florida. And the bank said, no, you can't do this. You have to have a kitchen. Or there's zero resale to this fucking place.
Yeah, exactly. That makes sense. You would never be able to sell that to anyone. That would be crazy.
And he was adamant. He was fighting it, And I'm like, dude, just have a kitchen that you don't use. What do you fucking care?
Yeah.
Yeah. How about you just have a kitchen? Is that so fucking crazy? Maybe a place to keep your cereal and milk. Now, here's the interesting thing. BL ended up banging that guy. And I'm not even making that up.
Really?
Yeah.
It seems like she's had quite a list.
Yeah. Fucking brave souls. I call them sexual first responders running in where any sane person would run out.
She did sound...
everyone always... Yeah. Go ahead.
She did sound extra weird. Like, I was actually thinking maybe the corona has got to her, got to the brain.
No. But here's the interesting thing about BL. And I've heard this from a lot of guys who've had sex with her. They say her vagina is like a watch pocket. It's just this tiny little thing. And I guess because she's so thin, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they said it was like a pinprick.
Interesting.
No. Ooh. All right, Vito, I know that you're in the studio, but isn't Chris supposed to be outside listening, trying to follow along to see how we're doing technically on all this?
Yes, Chris is he is on hold right now.
All right, let me talk to him.
Hey, Chris, can you hear everybody?
Yes, I can.
No, how are you listening? Just through the radio? I mean, through the phones?
I'm listening through the phone, and then I jumped off, and then also listened through the app, which is a couple minutes behind. So I'm listening on both feeds, with both of these feeds. That is.
All right, Gail. Someone sent this on that Snopes did a thing on that piece that you said was in Tiger Beat for who was it for?
Bill
I forgot
Gates.
now.
Bill Gates.
And according to Snopes, they were real pictures, but wrong description. They were publicity photos for Microsoft One. So he did do some sexy pictures, but they did not go out to 16 magazine.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. But I will say it still is strange with his pose. Does not seem like anything that you would ever see Bill Gates doing, where he's just kind of like perched up on his desk next to his computer like a little kitty cat.
You know, it was the 80s and people were doing really weird, like if you go back and look at any of the sports poses from those days, everything looks like it was for a gay magazine. You know what I mean? Like, they would just pose men in the weirdest and put on the weirdest fucking clothes. Like, you look at the 86 Chicago Bears and you're like, was this the first gay team that ever played the game? And people did not have a lot of awareness. Not a lot of awareness at all in the 80s.
It seems like there was like a lot of unnecessary skin for men too. Like more than necessary.
Well, belly shirts were in. I'm not going to lie to you about that. I mean, a man could wear a belly shirt to a wedding. Nobody would complain about it. Now, I know what you're thinking. What about my publicity photos for my new novel? I'm thinking about going with a pipe, but like an old-fashioned weird pipe, you know, and maybe a Sherlock Holmes hat.
That sounds cool. Like one of those pipes that look like they're made of bone.
Yes, bone pipe.
Yeah.
Maybe even use a bone.
Yeah, that's cool.
You know, use an actual bone and smoke out of it. Human bone, you know?
And then where do you think will you be posed? Like, where are you going to be smoking your pipe?
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, you got to get a good location.
How about in a rowboat in the middle of an angry ocean? You know what I mean?
Oh, my God. That's so cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool the thing of, here's this intellectual in a chaotic world, you know?
Yeah. And the fact that, in my mind, you know, I'm just picturing your pose. You look fearless. You know, you're in this angry ocean, but...
Right. And I already thought of, like, the slug line to sell this.
What is it?
Railroad Bennington. Well, I don't know if I'm going with Railroad. I'll just say Bennington. Bennington wrote the novel that you never could.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You know, it's bold, that's for sure. Mocking and bullying a little bit, but I think exciting.
How about this? F. Scott Fitzgerald claims there were no second acts in an American life. Ron Bennington just fucked him in his asshole.
Yeah. I like how shocking it is. You know, you don't think it's going there. And then it does.
I also have gotten some blowback on Earl reading this thing.
Oh, really? Why?
Apparently, a lot of white people aren't as woke as me, and they don't want to hear a book read by a black person. They said, oh, you could use him for the urban audience. And I think there's going to be a massive urban audience with this, too.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
To me, he's universal. That's just me.
I know,
think he's going to read to everyone.
The thing is, I don't think you know how big prejudice is in this world. You know what I mean?
I live in the bubble.
Yeah, I raised you woke.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I live in the bubble of Brooklyn, and now I live in a bubble, inside of a bubble, with the social distancing. So I couldn't be more disconnected from that.
I think I might read the novel to you guys.
Oh, I'd love to hear it.
You have to remember that it's a first draft. You know what I mean?
Okay.
A first draft. Chris, what's the last novel that you read?
I mean, I haven't read a novel in a long, long time. Oh, American Gods. I read that novel, but the TV show was based on.
How was it?
I liked it a lot. I didn't see the TV show, but I liked the novel a lot.
I'm going to name my novel, because I don't have a name for it yet, More American Gods. Because if that's a big deal, I want to jump on it.
You got to get on it. It's hot right now.
All right, are you guys ready for this?
Yes, I'm ready.
Yes, please.
It was a Thursday at midnight under a gypsy moon. The air was hot, thick, and stunk of steamed crab. Crabs the size of a banker's thick head. I'm sorry, did the corona kick in on you, Chris?
I don't know.
And now you're sniffling.
Oh, God. He's got it.
I mean, how am I supposed to read this novel, Gail?
Yeah, I mean,
I
I'm so sorry
apologize.
this happened.
I mean, something more dramatic than the novel cannot be taking place. And I had just set this thing, you know. We're under a gypsy moon and eating steamed crab.
It's so arresting to me.
Yeah. And then love in the age of Corona breaks out. Holy shit. That's what I'm calling this fucking thing.
Yeah.
Love in the age of Corona. You all right, Chris?
I'm good. I love that title.
Was it dry? Your
I
cough?
haven't had a wet cough. I haven't had a wet cough in a long time. I'll be honest with that.
This is one of those times I wish I wasn't kicked out of med school.
What happened? Why did you get kicked out?
Jealousy. Fucking jealousy. Do you believe that?
You know, I do, because doctors are assholes.
Wow, I'm glad I'm not one then, if that's the fucking case. I'm glad not to be one. Vito is sending me, like, people are on hold, but I don't want to go to it if we're having problems with the phones. All right, you guys want me to restart my novel? How do you like it so far? And be totally honest. Did it grab you right away? Yeah.
Right away, I was taken, and you had even given a slight spoiler that "twas" was the second word, and
Yeah.
it still surprised me when I heard it. The crab also, the description was very exciting.
About the size of it?
Yeah.
All right. Should I start from the beginning then?
Yes, please.
You feel like you want to cough now, Chris?
No. I will not interrupt this reading.
But you did. You did it.
I won't interrupt it the second time.
Did you cough into a tissue?
I coughed into the crook of my elbow.
Ew.
Corona
Although,
bug.
I gotta admit, that's such a great fucking statement. I'm gonna try to put that in the book somewhere.
Oh, please do.
Hey, quick question. Is there such a thing as a gypsy moon?
I like when you said it. It felt like something I had heard before. Like it was like I recalled it, but I like maybe it's just like it's such good writing that it makes you feel like it exists.
It was a Thursday at midnight under a gypsy moon. The air was hot, thick, and stunk of steamed crabs. Crabs the size of a banker's thick head. I tore a claw off and sucked the slimy crab meat into my mouth. Huge hunks of crab meat stuck to my face like a baby monkey sucking on its mother's engorged monkey tit. Hell, if this crab meat isn't as tasty as monkey tit, I giggled, and that giggle soon rumbled into a huge guffaw and then hysterical laughter as giant chunks of crab meat flew from my mouth and onto my fat belly. And then silence. The kind of silence that could drive a man to suicide. I picked up my revolver and pointed it to my head. "Goodbye, you fat, stupid crab eater," I mumbled. Suddenly, I turned and shot the shadowy figure that was sneaking up on me. My bullet found its way into his large, ugly mouth. "You should eat too, amigo, but not crab. Your dinner will be a bullet from my gun." I walked over to his lifeless body, wiped the prints off of my gun with moist, juicy crab meat, and stuck the gun into his left hand. The local coppers will think it's suicide. And then, a fantastic idea. I pulled his zipper down and wrapped his right hand around his stubby pecker. Suicide and masturbation. 2 sins against Jesus. I started to laugh my ass off thinking of his family reading the police report. I finished the rest of the crabs under the gypsy moon. Panama, I muttered. Panama. Spitting crab meat at the moon. What the fuck am I doing in Panama? Well, that's a long story, my friend. A long tale. A tale of murder, double-crossers, and even animal rape. And not vaginal rape. Anal rape. Yet another sin against Jesus. Yeah, it's a long story. A real page-turner. Trust me, once you start reading this book, the only way you'll stop is if you drop dead. You'll even find out who the guy is that I just shot in the mouth. And don't try to guess, because it's someone different than you will think it is. So, let's get this novel started. But first, I'm going to eat another crab. A crab under the angry, bloody gypsy moon. That's the start of the novel.
Oh my God, it's incredible.
Who was that man you shot? Or the character?
Whoa, hold on, buddy. Hold on.
gonna
Don't
find
get ahead
out.
of yourself. Yeah.
Please.
You're going to... I'm going to kind of flash back, and there's going to be a flash forward into kind of like a sci-fi thing of like where all this is going.
I mean, the use of crab meat is incredible.
Is it too
in
much?
No,
No.
Honestly. And I wonder, does the crab meat symbolize something? Is it foreshadowing for something? It has me thinking.
It must, right? I mean, that's a
Yeah.
lot of crab meat.
Yeah, a lot.
I'm really
I
proud of this
especially-
book.
I
What did you
especially
like,
liked
Chris?
when they took his
Go ahead.
penis out. I like when he took the man's penis out. I thought that was a great touch.
But you see why I did it, right? It's like a guy's masturbating and then he kills himself.
Right.
And then,
His family has to read the police report.
you know. So it's tragic and comedy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's both.
Kind of hot.
I honestly, the shock of the moment in which I thought our main character was about to commit suicide, just a page into this book.
Well, the reason was it was so silent. You know what I mean? After the laughter.
Yeah.
And he had been laughing really fucking hard, you know? And then he stopped, and that made him think of suicide. And then, a shadowy figure was creeping up. And we don't know whether it was murder, like he was intending murder, or maybe he was delivering a package. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it could be anything.
Could
I
be a
guess the only
stolen
thing-
artifact.
The only thing we know is that he's a fat mouth, I guess.
Yeah, he had a giant fucking fat mouth, that fuck. Easy enough to fit a bullet into.
A bullet from your gun.
Yeah. I love it.
This is amazing. I hope that you continue this work. I mean, it's to me, it's already a classic somehow.
Yeah, well, it's a modern day classic. You know what I mean? And that's really not even up to me to say. It's up to the critics, but I know what they're going to fucking say. You know what I mean? I mean, you feel the heat of this book. Here's a couple things I worry about. I don't know whether Panama has crabs. I know there's a lot of them in Maryland, but I don't want to set this kind of a fucking book in Maryland, you know?
No, that's
Then you don't.
No.
I mean, what do they eat in fucking Panama? Mangoes? But what do I want? A guy sitting there eating 20, 30 mangoes at a time? I'd rather see him eat a bushel of crabs.
Too many mangoes.
Thank you,
Man,
Chris.
I was enjoying it so much, and then just now it hit me. Like, imagine hearing Earl Douglas read that.
Yeah.
It could be incredible.
And I like the third Sid against Jesus, because that kind of represents, the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Things always have to be done in threes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You
It's
think
like
I
the
went too
holy
far
number.
with the animal rape? Went too far?
It certainly took me aback, but I was like, I'm willing to go there wherever it leads us. I mean, I think it was a shock to find out not only animal rape, but anal animal rape.
Yeah. I tell you the truth, it's almost less gross to me.